But I'm not sure fighting radicalization tops the agenda items for Prime Minister Boris Johnson right now. He's dealing with a lingering hangover from an old party that may cost him his job. Let me show you. This is the United Kingdom mocking its party-loving Prime Minister. Boris Johnson partied when the rest of his country was under a strict lockdown. His staff partied when the Queen was preparing for her husband's funeral. They arranged a DJ, got booze from a nearby supermarket, sneaked it into Downing Street in a suitcase, and then the Prime Minister's staff partied till dawn as the country mourned Prince Philip. And this was not an exception. Throughout the pandemic, the Prime Minister's office reportedly had a gala time. They had what was popularly called Wine Time Fridays every week. We told you about the garden party, the BYOB, Bring Your Own Booze, which the Prime Minister may now have to pay for with his career. Reports say Boris Johnson wants to turn time back, but happy hours evade him. This week is touted to be the toughest in his career. It's a make or break. At least 6 Tory MPs have publicly called for Boris Johnson's resignation. Several others have made the same demand in private. MP Tim Loughton has said this: resignation is the only way to bring this whole unfortunate episode to an end. Parliamentarian Douglas Ross says Johnson, quote-unquote, does need to resign. MP Andrew Bridgen has written this: there is time yet to do the right thing, he says. The message is clear. Johnson needs to go. That's what his party is telling him. Reports say hundreds of emails are being sent to Conservative MPs. They're from activists, voters, all of them expressing anger and casting doubts over Boris Johnson's leadership. It's not surprising that his approval ratings have collapsed too. They're down at least 10%. So are the approval ratings of his party, the Conservative Party. While many Tory MPs have made up their mind against Johnson's leadership, most are still silent. They're awaiting the result of an investigation. As we speak, Boris Johnson is in disaster management mode. He's trying to redeem himself. The Prime Minister's men have told the media that Johnson, quote-unquote, understands the level of hurt in the country. He reportedly said, I wish I could turn the clock back and go back to May 20 in the garden. Well, that's not possible. But appeasement politics, that's always possible. And that's something that most of our world leaders today know when to turn to. Boris Johnson is no different. He's resorting to populist measures. Number one, on immigrants. He has called the country's military, put them in charge of the small boat crisis in the English Channel. The military has been asked to push back the migrant boats. There are also plans to rehabilitate migrants. Move them to Ghana or maybe Rwanda. Move number two, a workplace drinking ban. That's expected soon. We hope the memo reaches 10 Downing Street. Move number three, a shorter quarantine period. It's already been rolled out, and this should help companies battling staffing shortage. Now, all of these decisions are part of Boris Johnson's populist policy push. It's been called Operation Red Meat. A befitting name, some would say, to check Partygate. But will this crowd-pleasing work? Forget the crowd. Will it impress Johnson's own Conservative Party members? There's talk of a no-confidence motion against the Prime Minister by his own party MPs. As per the rules, at least 54 MPs need to send no-confidence letters. The Sunday Times says 35 such letters have already been sent, 20 more, and the era of Boris Johnson is over. 20 more letters of no confidence, and the UK could be looking at another Prime Minister. The fifth in a little over 11 years, the fifth Prime Minister. And this could be him, Rishi Sunak. Like we've been telling you, Sunak is touted to replace Johnson, should things come to that. He's currently the Chancellor of the Exchequer, in simpler language, the Finance Minister, and he's not exactly Boris Johnson's best friend. So what are the chances that the tide will go against Johnson? Quite high. Every day newspapers come up with new details of Downing Street parties. Over the weekend, They also had pictures of the Prime Minister's wife flouting COVID rules. As they say, when it rains, it pours. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.